searching for justice. There's a family out there in Michigan, lots of families of Michigan across the country wanting justice. Joining me now on the screen is Danielle Deming, right? Danielle, it's spelled a little differently. That's why I always pause a little bit there, but I like it. Yeah. So your nephew, and I remember this story from when I was working at the TV station at the time. Your nephew was killed in 2024, was it May 4th?
May 4th.
May 4th of 2024, a horrible day for your family. And if you wouldn't mind, what happened? Because some people may not remember.
Yes, my nephew Morgan went out to the bar with some friends that night, and he ended up attempting to walk home. And um, he made it quite a distance, but they ended up finding him on the road. It's Marathon Road it's Lapeer, Columbiaville area.
Is that a rural? I know the area, but I haven't been around there a lot. Is there a lot around that area? Are there homes or businesses?
There's homes, but it's a pretty rural area.
So, and it
Not,
was at night when this happened.
yes, it was about 1:30 in the morning when they found him.
Okay. And was it, who found him?
A
Some,
a passerby car actually saw him and stopped a little bit ahead and called 911.
and he had passed away at the scene.
Correct.
Okay, so obviously, so police came out. What police agency investigates? State police?
It's actually Lapeer County.
Lapeer County Sheriff's Office.
Yes.
Okay. What did I mean, the cause of death, he was struck by a vehicle?
At first, that was what we were told. I think that's at first what you would assume, because he was found on the side, on the road. He actually died from his liver rupturing, and he had some other damage, but uh, the hardest part is they haven't really been able to give us a definitive on how it happened.
Re-
Um,
Wow.
yes, he didn't. There was nothing at the scene that would indicate a car as far as hitting him. There was no tire tracks. He didn't have like road rash, anything on his clothing, nothing like that. So everyone who's we've talked to about it has pretty much said it's a very confusing, suspicious case because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Have they even ruled it anything? A homicide or accident? Have they said anything?
Yeah, it's been listed as a homicide. We do know that there was a vehicle in the area, and based on his injuries, something happened.
Okay, so it wasn't something where it could have been physical. It was obvious that they ruled it a homicide, so that is definite. That's for sure.
Yes.
Okay. Um, wow. So I can't imagine you or how the family is doing it. Not even a year ago, but it's coming up on the anniversary, and that's going to be really tough. How are they doing? I mean, I can't imagine.
It's been really hard for all of us. For my brother, my sister-in-law, his sister. It's just everyone in our family. The not knowing is the hardest part.
Let me put up a picture. Great picture that you sent me right here.
Yes,
How do we know how old he is in this picture?
he's 26.
Okay. So this
He
was
might have been 25 in that picture, but
how old was he when he passed away?
he was 26.
26. So a newer picture. Okay. Tell me about him because when I do stories like this, people are not just statistics, they're human beings. What kind of guy? What was he, funny, shy, fun to
Oh,
be around? Tell me about him.
yes. Morgan was amazing. He was really funny. Everybody loved Morgan. He made us laugh every time we were all together. He was full of life. I always joke and say he had hellfire charm. He was a great nephew, a great son, a great friend. He loved to hunt, fish. He loved being outdoors. He had a dog he was training for hunting. Um, he was a hardworking kid. He worked construction with my brother. My brother's a builder. Um, Morgan was just, I couldn't, there's not a negative thing I could say. He was an amazing kid.
Wow. Yeah, it literally is a mystery because there hasn't been a lot of leads or information coming out since then. Not a lot of new information.
No, there hasn't been actually. That's been the hardest part. The area he was found, because it was rural, the cell service there isn't great. It's it's not a really well traveled area, um, and there just hasn't been a lot that's been shown to us for anything. They're still working on it, and I know they're working hard.
Okay. And hopefully, I have a lot of people that follow me on social media. Someone might see this, and it's obvious since they ruled it a homicide, there's at least one other person who knows exactly what happened.
Absolutely.
So if that person's watching, or if a friend of that person is watching, I would hope they would come forward or someone would come forward because you would think you put yourself in that situation because you wouldn't want this to happen to anyone.
No, no, that's the hardest thing is I think that's what all of us would say is that if you've heard anything, know anything, any type of little information could be extremely beneficial for our family. And it's been really hard.
Did,
And
and I have to ask, I mean, did he have a lot of enemies or
honestly, this is the God's honest truth. I have not met a single person who has had anything bad to say about my nephew. He was very well loved. He was a good kid. Um, Nobody that I've talked to has said a bad word. So I can't imagine he did. We
yeah,
are,
just seems like one of the guys.
he
Good,
was,
yeah.
yes. We are going to be doing a 1 year anniversary memorial type get together for him. There's a restaurant in Lapeer that is offered to let us to host it there. So we're going to have everybody there and it's everyone's welcome. Um, that's going to be on the 4th.
Okay. Um, yeah, so people just need to come forward because someone out there knows something. That's true. And we don't know, you said it's not 100% sure that it was a car. We don't know specifically what happened, right?
Correct. We know there was a vehicle in the area. We there is some camera footage that did see the vehicle at the time. You know, based on the time of death and everything, we know a vehicle went through. So we know someone was in that area when it happened. We
Okay.
just don't have the details yet.
Did you put out in your note to me, was there still a reward? And I'm sure the
Yeah.
state police or the local, they put out in a reward, but you said something about that?
Yes, we have it out there. The family and friends, we've raised money, and it's up to a $20,000 reward for information.
Wow.
So
Wow. Okay. I mean, it shouldn't take that, but if it takes that to get some information, then that's a good thing.
that's how we looked at it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, my prayers go out to family and friends, and yeah, it's very strange because it doesn't make much sense. And I'm sure you and the families racked your brain every which way, probably.
Absolutely,
But you said the police, the sheriff, they're doing a good job investigating.
they're doing all they can.
Okay.
Yes,
Well, hopefully someone can come forward. I'll put your information because you have a name and an email for well, I'll say it right now. Tips, TIPS at lapeercounty.org. If anyone knows anything, they can just email that if they're afraid to call or something, right?
absolutely. And if they don't feel comfortable talking to the police, my Facebook page has every bit of information out there. They are welcome to message me. I
Okay.
I'm more than happy to keep people's names anonymous. We just need answers.
Yeah, that's the point. You want answers because Wow, I can't believe how you're doing. Okay. I'm gonna put this out there. If I hear anything, let me know. And if you hear anything, let me know, and I'll blast this far and wide.
I appreciate it very much.
Prayers to everyone.
Thank you